I'm going to be answering a request and discussing how we can stop shuffling when we walk and how poor posture relates to shuffling. Now, most people who are shuffling around when they walk tend to be older people, but not exclusively so. Before we get started, I do want to let you know that sometimes shuffling gait can be an early sign of neurological disease like Parkinson's disease. So if you find that you have a shuffling gait or a loved one of yours has a shuffling gait, it's a good idea to get it checked out by a physician. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to discuss the mechanics of what's going on in a shuffling gait, assuming you have normal neurocognitive ability, and see how we can use proper exercises and core movement to correct or prevent the issue. If you're new to the channel, I'm Dr. Todd Martin. I'm a family medicine physician. I've been in practice over 27 years. I'm also a dance instructor and a Tai Chi practitioner. I use all of these disciplines together to try and help you learn how to use your core properly to achieve more fluid and confident walking and better movement patterns in general. To get started, I'm going to begin by describing what makes up a shuffling gait. Then I'm going to describe what are the problems that can occur because of a shuffling gait. Then talk about what's going on in the core that is fundamentally at the root of the shuffling gait. And then finally, I'm going to get into what are some exercises and movement patterns you can practice to help prevent or correct a shuffling gait. Let's go ahead and get started. First, what is a shuffling gait? Now, this is one of those things that you kind of know it when you see it, but I'm going to describe some of the hallmark patterns of shuffling gait. The first is going to be short strides. So the stride length is going to be very short without the leg extending behind the body like happens with a normal gait. So that is a normal gait pattern, normal stride length that I'm doing here, not overstriding, not understriding. When somebody has a shuffling gait, it's going to be much shorter than that. The next thing you're going to look at with a shuffling gait is you're going to lack the solid heel contact followed by the roll of the foot onto the flat foot and then the lifting of the heel that we call the gait rocker, that is part of fluid body movement and fluid walking. With the shuffling gait, you're going to see more of a flat-footed placement without the roll onto the flat foot and then off of the heel. So we're going to have much more of a flat placement like this. Now, the next thing you're going to notice is the posture, because all movement patterns that we do when we're standing up on two legs, because of the requirement of balance, all of these problems that we have in gait are going to entail something going on in the core, not just individual muscles in the legs. And so there is often going to be a postural issue going on with any particular walking problem that we are discussing. And in this case, with the shuffling gait, you're going to notice a stooped posture, bent forward at the hips. You're also going to notice a very light or absent arm swing. When we walk normally, the spine should be vertical, and you're going to see this reciprocal arm motion where the right arm is going to swing forward with the left leg and the left arm is going to swing forward with the right leg. You're not going to see that so much with a shuffling gait. And then finally, you're going to see a lack of lifting of the foot up off the ground, so a very poor clearance of the foot with the shuffling gait. It may look more like it's dragging across the ground like that. So those are all the hallmarks of a shuffling gait. Now, what can be the problems or the consequences from having a shuffling gait? Now, first of all, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, a shuffling gait can be an early sign of neurodegenerative disorders like Parkinson's disease. So you'll want to get it checked out if you find yourself shuffling like I just did there. Also, shuffling is going to result in an increased risk of falling for a number of different reasons. Number one, because of the stooped posture, the eyes are going to be looking down at the ground. They're not going to be looking straight forward where you are walking. Now, a lot of people comment on the channel because I've had other previous videos where I mentioned that we should be looking forward when we walk, and they say, well, if I try to look forward when I walk, then I'm not going to see what's going on the ground. But we really should not be looking at the ground when we walk, because we do need to see what's coming up in front of us. And if you're being honest about it, if you have vertical posture and are walking normally and your eyes are gazing forward, you can see completely what's not only up in front of you, you can still see the ground in front of you. If you practice this, try it out, walk down the street or down the sidewalk, and you can see the cracks of the sidewalk as they pass underneath your feet, even as you are gazing straight forward. So if you're looking at the ground like this as you walk, it probably is not just because you're trying to prevent falling. There's something else going on that you should get addressed. Now, falling on level ground, of course, is a problem that can happen if you are walking with a shuffling gait. And part of that is the gaze that I just mentioned, but also the lack of foot clearance. So we're not clearing the foot, and if you catch the foot on something, you're likely to fall over. Part of that is because of the lack of foot clearance, but also because in a shuffling gait, we are not going to be transferring the weight fully onto one leg where we have full balance on the one leg before placing the other leg. So if I am walking and I have good balance and good vertical posture, as I place the foot and then transfer weight, I have all of my balance over my left foot. If my right foot bumps into something, it's not going to cause me to fall over because I am fully balanced on my left foot. Then I place the right foot, and then as I transfer the weight, when I pick up the left foot, if I were to bump it into something, I'm now fully balanced on the right foot, and it's not going to cause me to fall over because I've fully transferred the spine over the standing leg. With a shuffling gait, you'll notice that there's really no weight transfer between the legs. The spine stays shuffling right down the middle. And so if I were to catch one of these feet as it's swinging forward, I don't have balance on my other leg. So when I catch, I'm going to end up falling over because I am not in a fully balanced position.